Hello, my friends. Welcome back. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge. And I'm delighted to see you today. I'm just delighted to see you because I'm all about mutual support and mutual inspiration. And today I want to touch base on an interesting element. At least I find it interesting. I've been a reader throughout my entire life, and reading was so huge for me throughout my life. I gained so much from reading. I didn't have mentorship, and so reading was what I learned from. That was what I got all that I needed from. And at the same time, it was very interesting. I developed a very interesting relationship with various characters. I mean, throughout my life. As a child, I loved Bugs Bunny. And as I grew older, I got into different fictional characters. At one point, I was into Conan the Barbarian. I was into Doc Savage. And I really, really got a lot from these people. In fact, you know, certain parts, I attempted to emulate certain parts of the characteristics that I found in those characters. And throughout my life, I would connect with different characters. There was a period where I was really into Perot. And each one of those, there was something about it that I enjoyed the stories, but I really enjoyed the character. And I almost identified with them on a certain level that almost sort of developed a certain reality. However, I know that those characters can't make me happy. Conan the Barbarian is not going to do anything to support me in real terms, in active terms. And in fact, I can't make that character happy. There's nothing I can do for any character I love that's going to make their lives better because their lives are fictional. They're not real. And that's true for any fictional character. Any character that does not really exist is not going to really be able to make a material difference in supporting you. Now, don't get me wrong, we can be inspired by them, but we won't be able to be made happy by them. You're not going to feel warmth. You're not going to have compassion from a fictional character. And so I want to suggest that's true for ourselves as well. If who we think we are is not who we are, we will never be happy trying to make this individual who doesn't actually exist, who's a product of our imagination, that character is not going to make us happy, even if that character is the facade that we think that we are. We have to come from inside out and not outside in. It comes back to that story of the burning house. The man who's walking by this dilapidated old house and his children suddenly run into it. And when they do, the house suddenly bursts on fire. And so he yells at them to get them to come out. He promises them gifts. And they come out. So the metaphor of the burning house is really this life. This life is not going to make you happy. If you objectify it, if you calcify it, if you think that becoming a famous actor is going to make you happy, well, look at all the actors who have not been happy. Marilyn Monroe was incredibly famous and very miserable from all purpose or from all appearances. So consider it. It's kind of like looking at soap bubbles and basing your whole sense of safety on this soap bubble not breaking. Well, of course, if you base your sense of self on a soap bubble, you're going to be in a state of anxiety. It reminds me of people who don't want to accept change, but all life is about change. And at the same time, there's something in us that's timeless. I've sat with several people who have passed out of this world, and more than one said the same thing. I feel the same as I did when I was young. I was with a 90-year-old woman who passed away. She said, I feel like I'm 18 inside. And that inner relationship, that inner self is timeless. So if you have a timeless element and it's connected to constant change, it's just like a soap bubble. 150 years just pops instantaneously. So get present. Stay present because who you are is presence. And remember, if you try to make someone happy that doesn't exist, you will be miserable. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Live authentically today. Be your real self. Focus on the entirety and not a tunnel vision that actually makes you a fictional character. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Time does not just have length, it has depth. And in that depth is our true self. I bring my hands into prayer position and I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you.